In the top left corner, the blue Terran, Dwonker. And in the bottom right corner, the red Zerg, Darkstar. And here we got another TvZ game. This time Darkstar is going to be the red Zerg. Darkstar, he's a Diamond 2 Zerg on the ladder. So we've seen in the last few games from Dwonker a pretty good Terran. Not as good as his Zerg. Around Diamond 3 level. So technically he's the underdog coming into this one here. Against the Diamond 2 Zerg. Darkstar, a veteran of the ladder. Trying to get one more W under his belt right here. Supply depot on the low ground. Barracks on the low ground for Dwonker. Obviously cognizant of the need to wall off that ramp. Nothing too crazy right here. A very standard opening from both players. And I'm interested to see the playstyle of Darkstar. Kind of a new Zerg on the scene, so what will he go? Will it be a Roach Ravager based play, or maybe Lingbane Muta, or Fast Hive? And from Dwonker's perspective, what I'm looking for is this kind of bio death push he's just been making. Tanks, Marines, Marauders, Medvacs, and he just looks to take your head off once he's approaching max supply, or when he thinks he has an opening. Where or when. And we see the Reapers coming first here. Barracks coming out. The second one, that is, after the command center goes down. Standard hatch gas pool from the Zerg player. 2 queens starting up. Perfect time. You see here both players just kind of spending their money. Slight supply advantage for the Zerg player. Sending that Overlord across the map. We see here the Reaper coming in for Dwonker. Let's see how good his Reaper micro is. He's learning it. Okay, kind of kiting back. Focus fire could be a little bit better, but pulled the Reaper back in time. Now he's chasing a Ling. Switching to the drone now. Throws the grenade down too. Oh, doesn't get the drone, but forces a Spore. Gets a Ling. Starting to take some Queen Fire now. Gets away. We see behind this, how is he macroing? The factory has been put down. He's pooling a bit of money. I think. What is he missing here? I'm not sure. He's pooling some resources that could be spent otherwise. Maybe over microing this Reaper. Now getting a scout off. Grenade disrupts the mining time a little bit. It's kind of a nuisance. And the Reaper sees his third hatchery, can't do much about it. Didn't get the block off in time. Darkstar did a really good job slipping that hatch in there before the Reaper timing. Oh, Reaper almost goes down to these Lings, to this Ling. But saves the Reaper, so okay, he got one kill. Some scouting, saves the Reaper, not bad from Dwonker. You just gotta be careful about macroing well behind that harassment. Something every new Terran player has to learn. How to be effective with the Reaper while not slipping on that macro. Dwonker slightly pooling. Well, they're about pooling the same amount of resources, both players. And now we see the Zerg player. Double Evo Baneling Nest coming down. Getting a second gas in the main. That third base starting to get saturated. Stim packs on the way for the Terran player. And the Zerg player is pulling ahead in the drones here. So, the Reaper couldn't get a drone. There's no real Hellion harassment here from Dwonker. That's kind of a problem with this bio opening. You can't really get in those mineral lines early before the medvac push and punish this kind of over-droning that's going on here. Because now that Darkstar knows he's defended the Reaper, he's starting to drone with impunity. But he really should get an Overlord scout off there. This Overlord's kind of idle. He really doesn't actually know what Dwonker's doing. So his scouting is lacking here. He's got some Zerglings on the defense. But smartly, you know, he's putting up the blind static defense, knowing that his scouting isn't very good. He hasn't bothered to scout the main, but he's doing kind of like an Overlord spread. And the Overlord is actually going to spot this Medvac move out. But did Darkstar spot it? That's the question. Now he's sending a Link spotter up north, and now he's definitely spotted it. And that Ling is going to go to the 4th base location. Meanwhile, 3rd CC under construction for Dwonker. Spending his mineral a little bit better than the Zerg player. This Overlord taking fire now, so we'll see how Darkstar responds to this 2-on-1 timing from Dwonker. Stems in, takes down a Queen. Lings get taken out, starting to go work on that drone line. Decides to focus the Queens instead. I think 3 Queens have been taken out here. More Zerglings being taken out. Oh, Baneling walks in. Bit of a pickup. The Marauder stays down. Oh, Marauder gets picked up too. That was so close to dying. And now Dwonker looking for some more aggression. Look at the units lost tab. Dwonker's been very efficient with this medvac. But he's starting to lose steam now. The medvacs are bruised. The Zerg player has that Link squad out to punish. And Dwonker sending his troops back home. Maybe he thought if this could snowball, he could just F2 his reinforcements across the map. But now, it's effectively been stuffed. So he's moving back now. 46 SCVs to 68 drones. So Darkstar is in a really good economic position. He's macroed pretty well. He lost a couple of drones, but really he mostly lost Queens. Okay, so maybe the creep spread is going to be slowed down a bit. Because now these backup Queens have to inject. But otherwise, I think Darkstar is in a good position here. He's got quite the worker advantage. This base is only being landed at 7 minutes. I mean, a little bit late, I think. Yes, there was aggression beforehand. It wasn't a 3cc opener. But maybe it could have been a little bit quicker. Meanwhile, back at home, Dwonker still hasn't started 1-1. So his upgrades are kind of sloppy. And I believe I've casted another game with Dwonker's Terran where the eBays have not been getting upgrades in a timely manner. Seeing some SCVs clutter in the main. So a little bit of idle time for 4 SCVs here. That could be in this mineral line or building something else. Or even saturating the main mineral line more likely. As the Zerg player takes the 5th base. Gets those gases super early. And I like the macro from the Zerg player. Meanwhile, 2-2 on the way. Whereas 1-1 is barely started for the Terran. I mean, this is not good for Dwonker. This Ling here tried to take out the constructing SCV. The pull was just in time. Forced a bit of a stim too. By the boxed units. And we see that long distance gas mining coming into play here. And Darkstar showed some pretty good macro. I think he is out macroing Dwonker. He's up 24 workers. It's 5 bases to 4. So Dwonker is staying current in the base count. Barely. And, you know, Spine, Spores coming down. Still with 84 drones. So if we look at the actual army size right here, we see Dwonker's got a scary looking army over here. And wow, the tanks are unsieging. Is this going to be the time to move out? It's about 9 minutes into the game. This Overlord getting sniped. Dwonker is supply capped. He's got to be careful. He's got to build those depots back at home. Yeah, okay, this depot is getting built, so not so bad. Baneling's being morphed by the Zerg player. But he's kind of low in army supply, to be honest. He's just got a few Banes, a few Infestors, actually. So going to rely on Fungals. But there is a huge Terran army pushing out right now. Dwonker actually has the supply lead, so while the economy's been there for the Zerg player, the production is favoring Dwonker. 94 drones, actually, for the Zerg player. Is this too many drones now? These 3 Banelings just get kind of sniped. And we see the Liberator going down. Tanks have been leapfrogging pretty well here from Dwonker. Dwonker is just going to take out this position. No drone pull on this hatchery is actually a little bit painful. Darkstar electing to take out some of these reinforcements in the back. And Dwonker pulling his reinforcements backwards now. Oh no, a couple tanks get caught out. Banes crash into this bio, but there are a couple siege tanks. Siege back here, Liberation Zone getting work in, but a fungal in the front. Holy crap, a lot is going down over here. Scans being thrown out. Trying to take out creep tumors. Dwonker still has an army though. He got beat up a little bit. But he has been way more efficient than the Zerg in this game. Another Liberation Zone coming down. We got a tank in the back. The bio is stimming, trying to save this tank from the Ling Barrage. And we see here, Dwonker is making steam. Making inroads. The 1-1. Just now 1-1. It was just a one attack. Terran army. But it's moved out here. And it's got the Zerg player on the defensive despite that 2+2 Carapace. Hydra's now coming out desperately. But I think the back has been broken of this Zerg player. Great job expanding up here, but I mean, what are you going to do about this force here? We see Vipers are charging in the main. Ultra Cavern is trying to get Chitinous Plating up and running, so maybe Ultras. And that's why no GG has been called. Parasitic Bomb coming out here. Dwonker's got to split off his medvacs. That AoE damage is really bruising up these medvacs. Splits weren't amazing, but all medvacs do survive. Badly damaged. So this army is running out of stim energy. Or stim life, rather, and medvac energy. Well, I don't think it's going to matter here. It's just too little too late for this Ultra Tech. The Cavern has been taken out as well. See back here. An Ultra popping out. Dwonker branching off units behind here. We have a whole position Ultra on this location. And the main has been gutted, and Dwonker just was a strong mid-game push timing. Kind of caught Darkstar sleeping a little bit. And look at this Ultraless skin. It's just kind of not even animating. I don't know what's going on there. But this Ultra is going to be taken out. Darkstar goes down. Liberator now sieging up this third base, and Dwonker is just parade pushing across the map with reinforcements. Fourth base is a planetary. Starting to mine, and Dwonker's actually spending all of his money here. So he's really committing troops here. Because he knows he's got the Zerg player basically dead, and that's GG. Good game. The D2 Zerg has been taken out.